I never imagined that a simple family dinner could expose so clearly where my children and I truly stood in my own family's eyes. It was supposed to be a happy Sunday gathering. My mother had invited everyone over: my sister, her husband, their 3 children, me, and my 2 kids. She said she wanted to bring the family together and cook a big meal like old times. I believed her. I even dressed my kids in their best clothes and told them, Nana's house is special. Be polite, be patient, and say thank you. They nodded, excited. They loved their grandmother. They loved their cousins. They loved the idea of a big table full of food. What I didn't know was that by the end of that evening, they would learn a painful lesson about favoritism, and I would learn a painful lesson about my own silence. From the moment we arrived, I could feel the difference. My sister, Aisha, was already there, sitting comfortably in the living room with her phone in hand while her kids ran around shouting. My mother rushed to them, kissing their heads, asking if they were hungry, if they wanted juice, if they were tired. When my kids walked in, my mother smiled, but it was softer, quieter. A polite smile, not the excited, glowing one she gave my sister's children. Go sit, she told them. Food will be ready soon. We sat. An hour passed. The smell of food filled the house: biryani, chicken karahi, naan, salad, dessert. My kids whispered, Mama, when will we eat? I told them gently, soon, be patient. Then my mother called out, Aisha, bring the kids, let them eat first, they must be starving. My sister gathered her children and led them straight to the dining table. Plates were served, chicken pieces placed carefully, extra naan added, glasses filled with cold drinks. My kids stood up too, but my aunt stopped them. Wait, she said, let the little ones eat first, you can eat after. I looked at her, confused. All of them are little, I said softly, they're all children. She waved her hand. It's okay, there's enough, just wait a bit. So my children stood there watching their cousins eat, watching them take the biggest pieces, watching them ask for seconds before my kids had even touched their first bite. Minutes turned into half an hour. Finally, when the plates of my sister's kids were nearly empty, my mother said, okay, now the rest can eat. By then, much of the food was gone. The chicken pieces were mostly bones, the rice was scattered and cold, the naan basket was almost empty. My son looked at the serving dish and whispered, Mama, is that all? My daughter's eyes filled with tears, but she tried to smile. I felt something break inside my chest. Still, I said nothing. We took what was left: crumbs, small portions, pieces no one else wanted. My sister didn't even look embarrassed. She was busy laughing, feeding her youngest another spoon of dessert while my kids shared one small piece between them. That was the moment I realized this wasn't an accident. This was a pattern. All the memories came rushing back. The birthdays where my sister's kids got expensive gifts and mine got envelopes with dua written on them. The school achievements where her children were praised loudly and mine were told, good, but don't be proud. The times my mother babysat for her for weeks but told me she was too tired to watch my kids for even an hour. I had always explained it away. She lives closer. She has more problems. They're younger. She needs more help. But now, watching my children wait for leftovers in a house that was supposed to be their home too, I could no longer lie to myself. They were second priority. Always had been. After dinner, my son quietly asked, Mama, why do Nana love them more? I froze. How do you answer a question like that without breaking a child's heart? She loves you too, I said, but my voice shook. Then why we eat last, my daughter whispered. I had no answer. That night when we got home, they went to bed hungry despite having eaten, not hungry in the stomach, but hungry in the heart. And I cried in the kitchen, silently so they wouldn't hear. The next day, my mother called. Why did you leave so early yesterday? She asked casually. I took a deep breath. Amy, my kids were hungry. They waited a long time. There wasn't much left. She sighed. Oh, don't be so sensitive. You know Aisha's children are small. They need to eat properly. So do mine, I said. There was a pause. Then she said, you are always creating issues. Learn to adjust. That was the moment something changed in me. I realized that if I stayed quiet, my children would grow up believing they deserved less. Less love. Less attention. Less respect. And I could not allow that. The next family gathering, I did something different. When food was ready and my mother again called my sister's kids first, I gently but firmly said, "All children will eat together." My sister looked annoyed, my aunt raised her eyebrows, my mother frowned. "Why are you making things complicated?" she asked. "Because my children will not stand and watch while others eat," I replied calmly. "They will not learn that they are second." The room went silent. For the first time in my life, I didn't shrink. I served my kids first. Not out of revenge. Out of dignity. Later that night, my son hugged me and said, "Mama, today we ate together." It was a small sentence, but it meant everything. Because that day, my children learned something far more important than manners. They learned their worth. And I learned that sometimes, protecting your children means being brave enough to confront your own family.